Greetings, Crawford Ashley here, the spiritual boxer, and I want to talk about boxing again, as I always do. Anyway, I'm going to talk about boxing. I'm not talking about mental health. That's going to be for another day, I think. Yeah. It's basically what boxing meant to me. Boxing is a martial art. It's a Western martial art, and to learn it, you got to learn it from the basics, the fundamentals. You know, we've got it all seem to be confused and arseways backwards now. We want to see a good fight. It's like I was talking to the kids outside the gym. All the promoters and these so-called TV, they want to see knockouts, but the fans actually want to see boxing, because the person who puts bums on seats was the likes of Ali, was the likes of Mayweather. You know what I mean? They're the ones that people want to see. Tyson Fury, people want to see him. Usyk, people want to see him. This is, you get the odd ones, the fighters like Tyson, Canelo, good fighters, brings another section in, but good boxers always fill the arenas. It has been from time, because you want to see boxing skills. And now it seems like people want to see knockouts, so you have all these kids getting these knockouts, unbeaten records, because they're being handpicked and unchosen who they can fight. And it's like all these people who were running down Canelo, before the fight, they were bigging him up, saying he was an all-time great. Like I said before, I couldn't see that, because I know what goes on behind closed doors. You know, I know the effect, the opponents, the away opponents, how they mess about with them, how they make sure that their training isn't going right when they're over there, or they just, you know what I mean, phone you up in the middle of the night. They mess with your heads. And then there's sometimes the occasion gets to a fighter. But when you've got a boxer like Bivol, he don't give a shit. He just wants to go in there and test his ability in boxing. It's like, what did he say? He's beating a so-called great, but he don't feel it. It just feels like he's got to go on and prove himself, because there was no test there for him. Everybody was screaming this guy was a great. There was no test whatsoever for him. And I get that. When you want to test yourself, nothing affects you. And that's what boxing is about. It's about testing yourself. But when you've got so many people who want to be involved in the media, mouthing off, but they don't perform, or they do perform with lesser opponents, and that's wrong. You know, you got to learn the skills, learn the basics. It's like somebody put, the skills pay the bills. When you're in there fighting and you've got this momentum, you've got the crowd behind you, but there's no substance there. Soon as you lose, seems like that fan base just disappears, just goes, because they don't understand what boxing is. They're just looking for these so-called winners. And like people saying Canelo should be applauded for striving for greatness. Every boxer who gets in the ring is striving for greatness. You know what I mean? So that's nothing new on the circuit. Every boxer who gets in the ring is striving for greatness. So please, you know what I mean, don't use that as like, I don't know, why are they saying things like that? He got found out. That's all it was. He got found out he didn't have the skills to tackle a good boxer, whether he moved up in weight or not. And that's another thing about is fighting the bigger man. Come in at your best weight. your best fighting weight is the best way to come in. So if you're boxing round 165, 166, why are you coming in at 174? I don't get that. That to me just makes no sense whatsoever. And it's like, when I was boxing, they wanted me to go down to super middleweight. Why do I want to go down to super middleweight? To kill myself to make that weight. I was walking around at about 12 stone 12. When I fought, I think it was Jimmy Peters, I was eating a sandwich going to the weigh-in and I weighed 12 stone 4. You got to come in at your peak, and if your peak is around, like I said with Canelo, 164, 165, why are you coming in 10 pound heavier? All that is a detriment to you. So that just don't make any sense to me. And it's like all these so-called trainers haven't got a fucking clue. They haven't. And it's sad to say that. And they don't even want to seem to like learn. What they want to do is pass the blame or come out with some stupidness. You know? If you don't know what you're doing, you don't know what you're doing. You can't help that. But when somebody tries to explain something to you and show you something, don't get angry with them. You know what I mean? Take it on board and learn. Don't you want to be the best trainer in the world? Ah, you see, that's where it goes. I want to be the best trainer in the world. How do you do that? How do you become the best trainer in the world? By telling everybody, or by the people you work with improving exponentially. Ah, big word there. Don't know where it came from. But it was a good, I like that word. It was a big word. Anyway, I was going to be talking, I just friggin' rattle along and talk nonsense. But like I was saying, when I was at school, I was just prison fodder. That's all they said to me. I was prison fodder. But I was lucky because I had these voices in my head. And like I said in one of my videos, my first ever memory of my mother, when I was 4 years of age, telling somebody she never ever wanted me. I don't know how that affected me. All I know is there was these voices that I listened to. And some I did and some I didn't. And I learned a lot from them. I used to go most places by myself. As a kid, I had a dog called Ringo. Me and 4 years, I was 4. Just used to go off all over the place. Didn't bother. But I felt like I was protected, I was looked after, I was watched. And I remember going to a youth club once. And it was miles away. And we went up there because one of our mates got beat up when he went up there, so we decided to go up. And about 6 or 7 of us went up, and me and my mate went in first. And we met some of the kids there, and we were just on the floor, sitting on the floor, having a right laugh with them. You know, some of the kids, just having a right laugh. And then the youth worker came over and says to me, I've got to leave. So I asked him why. And he said, you just got to leave. So I said, why? I think I was about 15. And I could feel myself getting angrier and angrier. Because all I was doing was talking to somebody. And then he went, you're not wanted. Boom! Explosion came, man. I got up and I picked up the pool table and I flipped it over and I was picking up pool balls and just throwing them all, smashed up the place, man. Just smashed up the place. You know what I mean? If I can't enjoy this, nobody's fucking enjoying it. I'm not fucking wanted. And that's how I felt. I'm walking down the streets, I'm getting arrested in my own area. Why? Because I'm fucking black. I'm not fucking black. I'm a human being. And I can't fucking walk down the streets because you perceive me as being a criminal. And then I've got arseholes now thinking I should respect the fucking police. Fuck fuck off. You know what I mean? I ain't got a problem with policemen. I've got a big problem with police officers who feel that they've got authority over me. You know what I mean? Just because you wear a uniform don't mean you're a good man. You're a fucking clown. Anyway, I still get emotional and angry over that, and I should be letting that shit go. But it's when the kids are coming through, they're getting the same treatment we got. Nothing's changed. You know what I mean? It's a little bit more subtler. And then they're putting it down to knife crime. Why is the knife crime? Because society is fucking shit. Why is there loads of mental health issues? Because society is wrong. You know what I mean? It's all bollocks. And if you're struggling, just remember one thing. Do what's right for you. No fucker gives a fuck. So you got to do what's right for you. Find out who you are and do what's right for you. You know what I mean? Enjoy your life. If you can help somebody, help them. If you can't, leave them be. And don't get involved in other people's business. You know what I mean? Mind your own. That's the one thing I found. When you're happy and you're content with your life, you don't give a shit about what other people are doing. When you're not happy and content, you're putting your nose in everybody else's business. You know what I mean? Stick your nose in your own business and watch your life improve. I've just had a fucking rant and rave. My head goes off like that sometimes, but like I say, I go for walks and I have talks to myself, I have arguments with myself over it, because it's not my job to fix the world. That's what somebody told me. It's not my job to fix the world. My job is to fix me. And if you're struggling, why are you struggling? Why do you think you're struggling? Is it down to other people, trying to impress other people? Or is it really down to the fact that you're not living the life you want to live? And there's only one person who can change that, and that's you. You know what I mean? Them questions in your head, change them. What will be? Not I can't. Let's see. Oh, he's going to beat you. I can't see it. We'll find out. Let's see. You know? Don't worry about what's going to happen. Be in this moment right here, right now. Because right in this moment, right here, right now, there's no problems. There's no dangers. There's no problems. So why feel a certain way? You can feel whichever way you want. Because there's only you and your thoughts in your head. Now, don't let anybody else control your thinking. You think for yourself. And does it affect you? These are the thoughts, like, my favourite one used to be round earth, flat earth. Does it fucking matter? Is your life going to change if the earth's round or if it's flat? It don't make any difference, but people have this big blown up idea that whatever. My view is the world's flat. The earth's round, but the world's flat. Anyway, till next time. Bye.